Someone swing that motherfucker.
Let's do it. Why not?
Are we doing it now?
Yeah.
We're currently in the process of doing it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna look at our levels as we do it. Make sure that everything sounds good.
Our doing it levels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time you talk, it seems like it's about right.
Okay. Cool.
I feel like there should be a slight gain.
I'm trying to project here a little bit. They're gonna have to excuse me for a minute. Yeah, I just had a mad sneeze attack and
I don't know
jacks up my throat.
Put this like 2.5. Let's try that.
Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Hey.
I feel like. Oh, I guess yeah. Whatever.
I'm a rapper. Gangsta.
Yeah, wearing your flower shirt.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna look so well.
Yeah.
Look at it in all its gloriousness.
It's beautiful, right? I decided to switch it up a little bit.
Oh, I was talking about the alien behind us.
Oh.
Your shirt's nice too.
That too. We finally took the suggestion
and hung something up on the wall.
Up. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the main focal point. 2 dudes and an alien. So that's fun. Oh,
I feel like that's gonna be like a new title thing for us. Is it's gonna be 2 dudes and something.
Yeah.
Something weird.
2 dudes and something weird. That should
the
be
next
it.
one.
That should be the name of our podcast. Period.
Hey, it's not too late to change it.
I know, right?
I think. Except YouTube takes like 3 weeks to fucking update anything.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Is there something you want to lead with, or should we lead with just last week?
Well, the last podcast that we had, we mentioned a story that we promised we were going to tell.
Oh.
Because we were talking about food.
I do. Okay, I remember this now. Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to lead with that or, Jesus, I should just not wear this. It's such a bad habit for me to wear this and look every time it vibrates.
Oh, your smartwatch?
Yeah.
So smart. My only tells time. It's a stupid watch.
Dumb watch.
Okay, yeah, let's lead with that story. So the name of the place was Venezia's.
I'm glad you remember that because I don't. I don't even think you told me. You were like, let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so Venezia's. It's a little like pizza Italian spot. There's a couple locations in the Phoenix area, and
I went to one in wasn't it like Scottsdale? Like it was far.
Yeah, it's like Tempe, Scottsdale area.
Yeah, I felt like it was a drive.
It was. But so we did a food challenge. It's a 2 feet across party pizza.
I want to say it would sit perfectly on this table.
Probably, like on this table.
Like perfectly around it.
Yeah, like just leaving corners here.
Mm-hmm. God, I wish I still had that picture.
Is it? I have it on Instagram.
I used to have it on Instagram.
I have it on Instagram still. I'll look it up. But yeah, it's a 24-inch party pizza. 2 people, 1 hour. And you had to finish the pizza.
Yep. So before we go any further, I thought it was weird because when we got there and we ordered the pizza, you had to pay for the pizza, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I thought that was weird because a lot of food challenges, they're like, okay, if you finish it, it's yours. Like, you don't have to pay. Right. I just thought it was really weird that they made you pay to do this challenge.
Yeah, no, this is like we had to pay for the pizza, but the win, if we did it, was we got T-shirts, which I still have mine.
I might. I don't know. I'd have to look.
And we got our picture on the wall on a Polaroid, which I'm
Polaroid.
Yeah, I have the Polaroid posted on my Instagram somewhere. If anybody wants to follow me, by the way, on Instagram, it's all lowercase, all one word. Dakota is Spider-Man. You didn't hear it from me.
We can also find that, and you can send it to me, and I'll put it on the Zang Podcast Instagram too.
Ooh,
but since we're plugging ourselves, Faded Psychosis, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Pornhub, look it up.
I didn't know we were plugging ourselves today.
Isn't that what you just did?
That sounds like fun.
Oh, you went the Pornhub.
Yeah,
I got it.
Like butt plugs.
Got it. Yep.
How do we get from pizza to butt plugs?
That's just the way our minds work.
Yeah.
It seems to happen more often than it should.
Yeah. 24-inch party pizza.
Yep.
What was really funny is they're like, well, we'll give you cheese, but like you can have any toppings you want on it. I'm like, bitch, I'm doing a food challenge. You trying to put more on it?
Yeah, right.
Like, you want me to throw some pepperonis and some sausages on this bitch too? No way.
That's how they trick you.
Absolutely not. So yeah, 24-inch party pizza, crust and all.
Yep.
I had to eat all the crust too.
I had to eat a lot of the crust.
Yeah, because like neither of us are very big people, but Cody is like a larger person than I am, so he definitely taller. Definitely taller.
Don't try to make me sound fat.
No, you're not fat at all. Neither of us are fat.
I'm just husky.
But yeah, you definitely got MVP.
Eating challenge. I remember like my brain like blocked it out. My brain's like, you're not full. My brain's like, you gotta finish this. And I remember sitting there like as I'm eating, like I'm just doing this little wiggle because I'm thinking in my head, realistically probably not what is actually happening, but in my head I'm like, oh, I'm burning this off as I'm eating it. Like I'm kind of working out as I eat this, so
burning the calories off.
I can put more in.
I remember just how awful I felt like near the end of it.
Dude, afterwards was horrible.
There it is.
Yep. You'll have to save that so I can put it up there.
I felt like I was going to explode from both ends. Like,
I didn't.
I felt like such an intense pressure on my ass
and
on my throat. I literally thought like it was just gonna
you were
both
full.
sides.
Like
both sides.
Yep.
But we're gonna post this on the Zang Podcast Instagram. But
look at how big the pan is.
Yeah.
Like ginormous. That's like the size of your torso.
Yeah.
It's freaking huge.
Oh, that was so brutal.
You can see it in our eyes too in the photo. We're just like, thank God this is over. Like, start debating whether you want to do that ever again in your life.
Yeah. But I couldn't eat pizza for like a month.
Oh, same. It took me a long time before I was like, what sounds good? Pizza.
Yeah. Oh, God, it was so bad.
Even pizza with toppings. Still, because it still had the base of a pizza, and I was just like, nope, can't.
So rough.
Can't eat it.
Now I'm thinking back to how that day made me feel. Oh my God, I think I was like digesting that pizza for like a solid 3 days.
Yeah, right.
Solid 3 days.
Didn't feel hungry afterwards for like at least a day and a half.
No, I didn't. I distinctly remember not eating the next day until dinner.
Yep.
Because I was just like, nope.
Yeah, it was bad. That was a lot of pizza.
Oh, man. But we won. And we got our t-shirts. We got our picture up on the wall.
Just in time. I think we had like a few minutes left. Yeah.
10 minutes. Yeah, we did in 50 minutes. And the dude, I remember he was saying that he was like, man, I'm impressed. I've seen bigger bigger people than you guys, like much bigger people than you guys.
And what I was impressed by was we looked at the wall afterwards of the photos of people who had done it, and I just remember seeing this big dude and just this little like 8-year-old. It was those two, and I was like, you know, this dude put in all the work. That little 8-year-old had like a slice of pizza, and this dude, I could just imagine what they went through to finish that pizza.
Oh man. Can you imagine if it was the 8-year-old that bodied it?
Right.
Just like, didn't feed the kid for like 3 days or something.
He just starved him. He's like, you're getting pizza in a couple days. Don't eat. Like,
oh, God.
That'd be so bad.
That's the only food challenge I've ever done, I think.
I want to say it's the only one I've ever done. But at the same time, I vaguely remember like a steak, but I don't remember if the steak was a challenge or if it was just really big, and so I thought maybe it was. I don't know.
It's like a personal challenge.
Maybe it was just a personal thing. I was like, I'm gonna finish this, and I'm gonna finish it in an hour. So
damn, a steak that'd take you an hour to eat. Holy fuck.
I may be exaggerating.
Okay. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different food challenges out there, like wing challenges and stuff.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's something we start. We just start finding food challenges and
talking about it on the podcast.
No, we'll go do it. You know.
Oh man. Do
a little live stream from Instagram or something, and
that'd be cool.
Take photos and.
Brutal.
Because you want to start talking about local food joints.
Yeah, I do.
Might as well find some local food joints to do challenges.
Speaking of that, we're not really plugging Venetia's in that sense. Like, we just did a pizza challenge. But I tried something new. I was going to talk about it last week, but obviously we took some time off, which we're going to talk about in a minute, by the way.
Much needed.
Yeah, much needed time off. But I went to Churroholic. It's the brand new churro joint that's right behind my apartment.
Yep.
Have you been?
I have not been, but I've had it. Yeah, it was brought to me.
Oh,
so
okay.
I've had it. Yes.
Okay, dude, freaking lit.
Yeah.
So
it depends on what you get.
Yeah.
I will say that there are some that I'm just like, I'll never get this again. But
really?
It's just what's on it. Yeah, it was like a chocolate almond type, like chocolate coconut almond. I'm not a big fan of almonds. Okay. So yeah, just to me. And
like
that combo.
Like the chocolate dipped one, like a chocolate dipped churro.
Yeah.
And then they have like churro sundaes.
Yeah.
And like they have just like a churros and ice cream option where it's like a big like loop of churro in a cup with just a bunch of ice cream in it.
Yeah.
And you can choose your flavor of ice cream. And on the sundae you can choose your flavor of ice cream too. And they loaded the fuck up.
Yeah.
And
is that what you had?
No, I just had the cup with the churro in it, and then my friend had the sundae.
Yeah, because I saw like there was one that looked like it had Fruity Pebbles on it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they have all sorts of different ones.
Yeah.
And it definitely, like the one I had once I took off the almonds wasn't bad.
Right.
It just was a weird combo. So I'll definitely be back. It's definitely a good place to check out.
And they don't even just do the whole churro thing. They have like apps and they have boba and things like that too.
And now people can stalk you because they'll be like, this is right behind his apartment. I can find it.
Find him from here. Yeah,
They'll just be watching for you.
Churroholic. If you're hanging out there, keep an eye out for Dakota is Spider-Man.
For this new churroholic.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see it. But no, yeah, that was really good. I'm not a big sweets guy either. I prefer to like go to restaurants and try like new like savory foods. But yeah, that was a must. I mean, it's called Churroholic. You know? Are you looking at my levels right now?
I am.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I know that I'm louder. And what I'm wondering is, because this is technically the front, and even though this is open, I'm starting to wonder.
Let's see how that works.
And then we put it more like, because I thought of this, but I didn't want it facing up because of the fan, but I was like, I have noise suppressor on, so.
Okay.
That seems better. Talk. Yeah.
My butt itches.
your levels definitely seem louder now, so.
Okay, cool.
I think I'm gonna start just leaving it like that. If there's noise because of the fan, I apologize in advance.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, right. Hey, we talked about ASMR.
Yeah, we did.
Which.
Is that ass to mouth? Is that what that is?
No, I don't know what it sounds. stands for, but it's supposed to be just the noises, and it apparently helps people relax and like. But if you go into like the Twitch section of ASMR, it's literally just a bunch of chicks. Like I'm like, and there's thousands of people watching, and I'm like, this is a bunch of dudes at home, just like they're not trying to relax, and if they are, it's in a certain manner, you know. So it's a subject that I'm like, first of all, I don't know how it got started, but second of all, how did it get so big? That's what she said.
Fuck. Hate it when people beat me to that. Man.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's just interesting to me.
All right.
On to the next one.
Yeah, on to the next topic, which is pretty serious. We're going to take it down a notch for a minute. But last week we kind of took the week off. I know Cody had been working his ass off.
I had 1 day off in a week and a half, 2 weeks almost. Yeah,
and we also lost one of the members of our team at our job. And
you want to say the name so bad.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna do that.
I could see it though.
Yeah, but I mean, shit. 2019's been fucking hard, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
One of my best friends took his life back in February. I haven't really talked about it too much, but that happened. And then another good friend of mine, somebody that she was really close to, died recently, and he was like kind of known in our workplace as well, so that hit us too. And then one of our bartenders, like a week and 2 days ago now.
Yeah. It was rough.
Yeah, and you can just feel it through the entire place right now.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like it happened on like Sunday, Monday time, and we hadn't planned to do the podcast on Tuesday. And we were just like,
nope.
No, can't do it. So, yeah, that's kind of the reason we took the time off, just for a week, you know, just to kind of collect our thoughts and be with the friends and family. But I wanted to talk about mental health awareness a little bit, just because like all that's happened in 2019 has kind of like I've always been like really hyper aware of it.
Yeah.
But 2019, this year, everything that's gone on in my life has just like heightened that, I think. So one of my best friends, he put out a song. His artist name is Bitter Bones. He did this entire video himself. He drew a whole bunch of people that he knew from different areas of the country, the world, really, to tell their story in a brief manner.
Yeah.
They all wrote down things on like papers and boards and things like that, just to kind of tell where they're at as far as like where their mental health is, or like something that's affected them.
Yeah.
I'm in the music video, which is kind of cool that, you know, I got to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And the song is called Hellbent. It's by Bitter Bones, and I think we're gonna show it a little bit.
We have it pulled up here. I'm hoping that this works the way that I want it to.
Okay, well, let's hope.
Because I should have the desktop set up.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering is I'm hoping I can go full screen. Cool, I can.
Oh, dope.
So there it is, Bitter Bones, Hellbent.
Yeah. So if you want to hit play real quick.
Bro, someone swing that motherfucking crane over.
Right there.
We need that shit to move the weight low. Just kick off my shoes, hit the payroll. Give me something I can fucking take home. The money spent quick when you ball out big. Living in the whip just to pay for the shit. Talking 10 below. Freezing cold. Nowhere to go, no place to call my home.
Yeah, feel free to check that out. I know he really appreciated it. It's something very near and dear to his heart. And at this point, mine too. So, yeah, Hellbent by Bitter Bones. Super cool. So yeah, we just needed that time off to just kind of gather our thoughts and, you know, reset.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
because I mean, like you said, you could, even just like walking through the building, you can tell like there was just a cloud.
Yeah,
it sucks.
It's hard, man. It's so hard.
Yeah.
But I think everybody has gotten a chance to kind of like, you know, say their goodbyes now and whatnot. We're actually doing a balloon release tomorrow morning too.
Yeah, I saw him a little bit today, like setting up for that. Well, not setting up all that, but they were in the
together.
Office, printing out things, and so that's cool.
So we're gonna be at one of the parks around here.
When are they doing it? After work?
Before 9 a.m.
Oh yeah, I'll be there already. I'll be at work.
Yeah, I have to be there at 9:30.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna be late.
Yeah.
But
understandable. I was late this morning. So
yeah.
It
I had something to lead into. What am I? Do you hear it? The
Yeah. I'm just like, I don't, and that was one of my worries, like, with it under the fan, but,
Oh, I was talking.
I'll figure out the perfect, maybe I'll face it up and that way our voices go across it. I don't know.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
It's a thing in process.
Yeah. Like, after a while, we're going to have our own studio. So, like, this
at some point, I would like to get 2 mics, so it's not 2 dudes and a mic. It's 2 dudes and
2 mics. Oh, and once we do get 2 mics, that's what we're going to call it. 2 dudes, 2 mics.
And that's one of my plans, and I even thought about just getting, like, a cheapo mic to put in front of you. God, that's going to bug me. I got to do it. Live podcast, am I right? Tech life, am I right?
So right.
Because I'm hoping that maybe this will make it better. Then I scoot it back like that.
Okay.
I mean, our levels are still the same.
Cool. I don't hear the whooshing.
As far as that could just be something in the kitchen.
Oh, all right.
But
I remember what I was going to say.
test subjects. That's what we are.
Yeah. I remember. We were talking about the whole reset thing.
Yeah.
I went to Sedona yesterday. Oh, goodness gracious.
I saw today. I was actually kind of like, are you still in Sedona? Like, we don't have to do this today.
Yeah, no. I went to Sedona yesterday.
That's a couple hours away.
Yeah. It was exactly what I needed, I think.
Yeah.
I was talking to the grief counselor after everything happened, and I told her I was going to Sedona, and she was like, that's perfect. It's beautiful. Just go up there and listen to the silence. Yeah. That was like her suggestions. I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'll think about that. So we hiked up to, when we got there, we did like a morning hike, and we went up to this place called Robber's Roost. And there's this part where you have to like walk like on the edge of the mountain just across like this thin area of like slanted rock just to get to it. And I was like, fuck, I don't like heights. This sucks. But then Robber's Roost is like a cave that's inset, like in the side of the mountain, and like has a big like opening in the front, and then on the side it's like a circle opening. It's like a window, essentially, and that's like the spot to take all the pictures and everything. It was super cool, and it's set up to where there's like a little fire pit in there and everything. And I'm thinking that maybe since if there's like, it's not blocked off, there's no gates, there's no like times on the trailhead or anything like that, I'm thinking like I could probably go up there later this summer and actually camp there. Yeah. Like up in the cave. So I think that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, we did that, and then we went into the town, and there's always this dude like on the strip in the town who has like a bunch of snakes and tarantulas and stuff. I remember he's always there. Always there. I love it.
I feel like that's his daily job.
Yeah, I think so too. And he takes like donations for like the local like rescue
pet
stuff.
Care, things like that.
And he lets people hold the snakes. So I held a couple snakes. Love doing that.
Yeah, the last time I was there, he had like a giant python.
Yeah.
That was probably as tall as me if you like stretched it out. You know?
He said he has somewhere around like 200 different animals. Like, where do you find the time of the day?
I mean, apparently he's got the time to sit on the side and let people hold his snakes. So.
Right? Exactly. Weird. You know? Blows my mind. Had prickly pear ice cream.
That's delicious.
Which, whew,
yeah,
lit.
I'm learning that prickly pear, pretty much anything is delicious because the tea is always good, the ice cream's always good. There's like a chocolate that's filled with
like prickly pear, like
jam.
Yeah,
delicious.
Yeah, I went to AJ's Fine Foods and I got like prickly pear jam to put on like my English muffins and stuff. Oh,
so good
to the face.
Yep.
We bought prickly pear syrup while we were up there. And you can use it on like, you know, pancakes and waffles and stuff. But you can also use it to make like margaritas and mojitos and things like that.
Yeah.
Gonna try that. So we did all that. Went to a little Mexican restaurant. Had prickly pear margarita. Solid. And then we did a night hike. What was it? Doe's Mountain Trail or something like that. And we got to like get up to the top of the mountain, watch the sunset. Super dope. And like by the time we got down, it was almost dark. So we got to like check out the stars and stuff and just like hang out and really like listen to the silence, you know?
Yeah.
Just be aware of everything that was going on there, which was absolutely nothing. And it was perfect. So yeah, definitely took that time to reset, hang out, and just like appreciate like the nature. Because there's nowhere really like Arizona as far as like all that red rock scenery goes.
Yeah.
And just Sedona is another world in its own.
Yeah, I feel like Sedona is our like hiking town.
Mm-hmm.
That's where everybody goes because it's got the most trails. It's got the trails that take you up so you can look down on things. I mean, it's got all sorts of just really neat like natural landscape, things like that. They don't like, we're in Phoenix and I feel like they tear everything down to build on it. Sedona builds into it. Like, they don't tear down the forest to build on top of it. They build into the forest. So like the housing communities, all that, it's like built into nature, which I think is really cool. And that's also something I've seen in like Colorado and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love Colorado. I think it's fucking gorgeous just because they don't tear things down to build on top.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a dope little area. I downloaded this app. It's called All Trails.
Mm-hmm.
And it has like all the little areas where you can like search by town or city or whatever.
Yeah.
So I looked in Sedona like today after I got back. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see like what else I can do when I get up there.
Yeah.
Like how many of these trails can I knock out?
Yeah.
There's 490 in Sedona.
Well, doesn't it
holy
it'll
shit.
filter them too by like, you know, difficulty, length, things like that.
Yeah.
So that's always helpful too.
They have easy, moderate, and hard.
Yeah.
And then I don't think any of them are more than like 5 miles, but still like 5 miles climbing up a mountain is a lot.
Yeah, you got to be careful with things like that because I've looked up things like that and it's like, 5 miles, but in the fine print it's like one way. So to go there and then come back, you're doing 10 miles total. So sometimes you got to watch out for things like that. I don't think that this app does it, but nope, Sedona's it's a hippie town, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Cause
I love it.
A lot of like crystal shops and little trinkets and antiques, and I'm just like, this is a hippie town.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's definitely gorgeous.
I remember walking by one of those rock shops, and I had been in this particular shop before, and I was like, yo, you want to go pick up a rock for $1,000? And literally the first one we saw, like as we're walking by the door, $1,600.
Yep.
I was like, Jesus.
Yep. And that's the thing though, is like you come here and like go to Brass Armadillo or anything, you can find the same crystals for like a third of the price. So to me, I'm just like, I'm about to go bulk shopping and just move my ass to Sedona.
Yeah, right. And just sell it all.
Because clearly these stores do well.
They're still open.
They're still open.
Yeah.
Sedona's still kicking, you know?
Yeah.
People still want to live there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, that's good. Resets are always nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you can go out in nature like that.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the shit out of nature. I miss like camping frequently.
Yeah. I'm not a big like real camping person. Like I can probably do like a night. You're one of those. No. I can do a night. Like I can go out, like spend the night in a tent, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But 3, 4, 5 days without like a shower, like an actual shower, my skin starts to crawl, man. Like I can't do it.
I have no problem with it. I have what is called the camping shower. I started doing this when I was younger because my grandpa would take me camping a lot, and it'd be for, you know, a weekend. During the summer we'd be gone for, you know, half a week, so we're there for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. And
I would just take like Axe body spray or some sort of body spray, and that was my shower.
Ugh.
Like Yeah, you're grossed out by it. I'm perfectly okay with it. I'm like, dude, I'm camping. Like, I'm supposed to kind of feel gross. Like, I don't have a shower. I don't have TV. I don't have, like, all these things that you have in your household to make you feel more comfortable. Right. I'm like, I'm just in nature. Like, I'm going to sleep on the ground. Like, granted, yes, you have tents because you don't want to get eaten. But, to me, it's just kind of part of being in nature.
I don't mind the no electricity. I don't mind the no TVs, no phones, none of that. I can get behind all of that. Sleeping in a tent, cool. I don't need a camper. I don't need an RV. I don't need any of that. I don't even really need like a toilet, because I'm a dude, whatever. I can go to the bathroom anywhere.
Yeah.
If I'm at like a campsite and there's like a locker room type thing, where you can just like hop in and rinse off. That is all I would need. That's it. Otherwise, everything else is fine with me.
Well, they have like portable showers.
Yeah.
They have it's basically just a bag that you fill up with water and you hang it up, and then it's got the shower head, and you literally just turn a little nozzle to open it. And granted, it doesn't have like pressure or anything, but it's supposed to be portable.
I would need that for sure.
on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is you don't want to do Naked and Afraid with me?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Damn. Sorry, guys. I tried.
Whenever I'm naked, I usually am afraid, though. I'm kidding. Somebody's going to hear that and get so offended. Like, oh, really? What are you so scared of?
Oh, God. Well, if we're going to go down that route, from what I've heard, you have nothing to be afraid of. We used to be roommates, bro. We used to be roommates.
Yeah, we are not talking about this.
But
let's see.
Next subject.
Yeah, right. What else do you got?
Bang, next subject. I don't know. Ooh, quick question.
Quick answer.
Girl from our work actually asked this, and it blew my mind because I was like, that is a good fucking question. That's one of those ones. I asked this also, is a boiled egg cooked? Like, if you hard boil an egg, is that considered cooking it?
Yeah.
Is it though, or is it boiling it? See,
I mean,
I was like, so
it's not. Is the definition of cooking something like bringing it from raw to not raw? Because if so, then that's cooking it.
But see, that's where it gets confusing.
Are baking cookies cooking them?
Or is it baking? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, is baking cooking or is baking baking? Because if it's cooking, why do we call it baking? Same with boiling eggs. Like, if it's cooking an egg, why do we call? And basically, what I was told was that it's a form of cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking,
Because I think cooking just like you have grilling and smoking and baking and frying and
But see, that's
boiling.
the thing is when I think of cooking, I think of like put it in a pan and you cook it. Frying to me even isn't really cooking to me. That's frying something. It's putting it in an oil and letting it fry. I get how it's a form of cooking. See, and this is why, like, this question, I was just like, that's gonna bug me because my mind does that. My mind's just like, well, which is it?
Yeah.
Is it boiling an egg or is it cooking an egg?
I think cooking is the umbrella term, and everything that I just said is under that umbrella. I think.
And that seems to be the final consensus. I just thought I'd, put the question out there and see what you think as well.
Yeah.
Because at first, yes, after talking to people, I realized like boiling, all that falls under the umbrella of cooking. But when it first hit me, I was just like, fuck, like that is a good question. Like, is that considered cooking or like, is it cooked now? No, it's boiled, and so.
You know what that makes me want deviled eggs.
It really does.
I love deviled eggs. What? I really wasn't prepared for that
random question. I know, but it was just one of those ones that I was like, I need to know everybody's answer to this right now. threw you for a loop.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
a little bit.
Let's get back on track.
Yeah, just reeling in. Okay. I saw Aladdin. So if I just take so let me preface this with saying that Aladdin is my favorite animated Disney movie of all time. Okay, of all time. If I take a step back and just watch this new one as its own movie, I'm gonna give it like probably I think a 6.8 out of 10.
Okay.
Almost a 7, which isn't a loss.
Yeah.
By any means.
That's not bad. I feel like anything past 5 on a scale of 1 to 10 is
right.
Watchable.
You're
past that halfway marker.
Yeah.
So it's got to be kind of good.
There was a couple things that were weird about the movie for me. And surprisingly enough, not one of them was Will Smith. I didn't mind Will Smith at all.
Really?
Will Smith as the genie was pretty good.
Now, is this pretty good as a standalone or pretty good compared to, obviously, Robin Williams, the original OG genie?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to ask because, that was one of the things that you mentioned is how is he going to stack up to the way Robin Williams portrayed Genie? Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely some like cinematic things where they had to, match it up.
Yeah.
And do the same songs, the same kind of like choreography almost.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he translated well, I think. I think there's 3 things that kind of threw me for a loop here. First, the first like 20-25 minutes of the movie, this is going to sound really strange, they look like they're in fast forward.
Like they sped everything up?
Yeah. Like all the motions, it doesn't look natural. It all looks like it's in fast forward, which I didn't understand.
If they really did do that, it could be an editing thing just to match their time frame,
Yeah.
Like, oh, we want the movie to be this long kind of thing.
But that being said, it's fast forwarded while there's like musical numbers. So like everything's moving at this pace, but their mouths are moving for like the right pace of the song, and it just looked kind of off.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was a little strange. Secondly, the dude who played Jafar, I want Jafar to be like scary.
Yeah.
I want Jafar to be just sinister and menacing and just
because it's what he is.
Yeah, just like like when he has that fucking evil laugh.
He's super like wicked and evil and just I get what you're saying.
This dude at best was kind of just like a creep.
Yeah.
So Jafar was probably like my biggest Achilles heel in this one, and that just kind of like took it away from me. Now, one of my favorite scenes in the animated one is when Jafar like becomes the genie and he's like, all powerful and he's like using those powers and everything.
Yeah.
And Jasmine's in the hourglass. He turns into the giant snake, and like as an animated movie, that was the dopest shit to ever happen. Like at that point in time, and it was like one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Wasn't in there.
Just completely taken out.
Completely gone.
That kind of kills the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like they did their own thing as far as like Jafar becoming the genie because they have to, but it was definitely way different than.
Well, because in the animated, that's like he does that, but then that's when he's like, oh, there's consequences, and like he holds up the lantern, and they took all of that out.
Well, no, like he wishes to become the genie, but like him being like the genie and then like getting locked up into the lamp as like a slave essentially happened almost instantaneously.
Oh, really?
There was nothing in between.
Okay, so they took out the scene of him kind of showing off that power, and being like, haha, I'm gonna rule this world now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And like when you think about Aladdin, like the original one, you think about a few scenes where like those have to be in there. Cave of Wonders.
Yeah.
Gotta be in there. the parade when he comes Prince Ali. It's got to be in there. You know, the magic carpet ride. It's got to be in there. And for me, the hourglass scene at the end, it's got to be in there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I don't know if it was because, like, in the cartoon, she was like a slave, sexy Jasmine, and in this, she was kind of like.
They had to be subtle.
Yeah. It had, like, a lot of feminist undertones in it because, you know, in the cartoon, like, she marries Aladdin and blah, 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 and, like, whatever happens. This one was, like, very based around the fact that she's going to become Sultan.
Yeah.
She's going to become the leader of, wherever it is. I forget the name of
I don't even remember.
The town.
Yeah.
I'm just, like, I'm stuck right now. But, yeah.
I mean, I can see it, especially in modern day,
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, that's kind of the route of everything, you know, these days is that feminist feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it, you know, girl power. But at the same time, if you're going to remake a classic, I think it's okay to stick to the classic.
Yeah.
You know, even if it was a little risque, you know, back then it didn't matter. Yeah. You know?
So yeah, it wasn't a total loss. It was good for a standalone movie. Like, it was worth watching.
That's good. I'll probably just wait till it's out at theaters.
Yeah. I still don't know how to feel about Lion King, man. I'm so nervous for it.
That one's hard just because that's a lot of CG.
A lot.
Like, that is a lot of CGI. Everything in there, because there are no humans, is going to require everything to be generated on a computer. Mm-hmm. Which, cinematically, if done right, could be amazing. It could be top tier movie because of how well it was done.
And it's not like Disney doesn't have the money to do it.
Yeah, but my thing is, if they end up with DC type CGI, the movie's gonna fail. Like, it's gonna be horrible. You know?
It's gonna look like those cat vines with the human lips on them, just yelling.
Yep, pretty much. So
Can you imagine the entire movie done like that? It'd be so good.
I could see them taking photos from the animated movie and just putting people's lips on it.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be pretty funny.
That's how they should do it.
Greatest remake ever. Which, oddly enough, I found out I'm also interested because fur in CGI is a lot harder to do. And that's why, like, in Game of Thrones, you would see the dragons more than you would see the wolves. Because, like, every little piece of fur pretty much has to be done. Yeah. I mean, you have to really detail on your fur. Not only that, but the, you know, rendering process of it, every little motion of that moving, it would take you forever.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing that kind of strikes my interest.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the difference between, like, the quality with the dragons and the quality with the direwolves.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and it's because the dragon scales are a lot easier. They're bigger pieces, you know, it's not this fine, thin hair kind of thing.
Yeah, and every scale doesn't have its own separate movement, you know.
And that's why, like, fluidly. Even watching movies where they CGI the character to make them look younger or whatever, like, you can tell if they CGI the hair, too. You're just like, that doesn't look, the flow doesn't look right.
Dude, one of my favorites, like, when you mentioned that, is when, which one was it? It was Civil War, I think the beginning of Civil War, where it shows Tony Stark, but, like, younger Tony, like, talking to his parents.
Oh, yeah, when he's in the hologram.
In that mind hologram that he made, that looked incredible.
Yeah.
So good.
But Marvel put the money into their movies, and that, you know, we've discussed it, but that's one reason that they're far exceeding DC is because they put the money into it. So. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'll be interested for Lion King to see as far as that is concerned, but I'm just not a big fan of the live action remakes. So you'll have to come tell me how it is.
I will. Now, are you ready to fucking nerd out?
You are getting really excited.
I totally forgot about this up until like 2 seconds ago. I heard about this so long ago. I can't even tell you how long ago I heard about this. To the point where I thought at this point it was just a rumor and it was fake. And then the trailer came out the other day.
think I know where you're going with this, but we'll see.
It's Netflix.
Oh, okay. I don't know where you're going.
Trailer came out the other day, and it's a Netflix series based on one of my favorite movies as a kid. Okay? Now, I was worried about how they were going to do it. I don't even know, like, I want to, like, say things but not give it away, you know what I mean? So, it comes out August 30th, and I'm just going to go out and say it. They're doing a Netflix series on the Dark Crystal.
Okay.
And the trailer came out, and it looks fucking tight. It's a prequel to the Dark Crystal movie that came out, like, I don't know, fucking early 90s, late 80s,
yeah,
probably.
I want to say late 80s, early 90s.
Now, anybody who's familiar with Dark Crystal, The Labyrinth, whatever it may be.
The Labyrinth is one of my favorites.
Jim Henson movies, right? It's all puppetry.
Yeah.
So I was worried with today being today, you know, especially with all this new live action CGI stuff going on, that's what they were going to do. They didn't, man. They didn't. It's all still fucking puppets.
No shit.
And it looks insane. It still looks as good as it did from day one, man. Oh, I'm so hyped.
I'm trying to find the year because that's going to bug me.
Oh.
Nuh-uh. No way.
What?
Oh, that's about the guy. Okay.
What, Jim Henson?
Yeah, where's the year? The Dark Crystal. It is.
82.
1982. I thought it was later than that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
82.
I could have swore it was older than that. Like, later. Labyrinth was 86.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Well,
but
I'm going to have to go watch that trailer.
Yeah. The Dark Crystal, man.
Have to look it up.
82? Dude, that's damn near 40 years later.
Yeah. I was born in 88. It's 7 years, 6 years difference. So
yeah, 36 years.
It's going to be 36, 37 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel old. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm going to go just dig my grave right now.
But it looks insane. It looks so good. The Skeksis look dope.
You said it's all puppetry still. Do the puppets look higher quality though, or are they still keeping kind of that?
Oh yeah.
Doll?
I mean, okay, so the Skeksis look the same, but like just as far as like picture quality goes, it's all better.
Yeah.
You know, because the difference between 1982 and 2019, you know.
Yeah. Well, camera quality too.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot better.
So, the Skeksis look the same but clearer.
Yeah.
The Gelflings, there's more of them because in the original Dark Crystal, there's only 2 of them left in the entire world. Mm-hmm. There's like a whole like civilization of Gelflings still in this movie. So
so it's supposed to be before, as far as the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you remember, like in the original Dark Crystal, like the big war happened and like everybody died, and that was like just kind of what they talked about.
Yeah.
That led them into everything. This series is going to be based on that.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be based on like all the conflict that happened to make everything else happen.
Now I'm going to have to watch that tonight. That and Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Gotta watch them both.
Yeah. Never Ending Story.
That's another good one. Yeah.
So good.
God. I miss my childhood, man.
Right? I know. It's so good.
But no, that should be a good one, especially if it's Netflix, because Netflix definitely won't buy up anything that's just crap. Mm-hmm. Well, for the most part, they won't buy up anything that's just crap.
Yeah, and I mean, it's from Jim Henson Studios, so that's cool. It's been in the works for so long, like I said.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I have to imagine that it's been done the right way.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is usually when they take their time on it, it comes out phenomenal.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
We're both like, God, we need to just go watch childish movies.
Yeah, for real.
On that note, because this is where I thought you were going with it, because you said that you were, ready to nerd out.
Yes.
I didn't dig deep into it. It was just kind of something I saw on a Snapchat story that struck my interest. It was on like IGN or whatever.
Okay.
So it could be true, could be not. I'm pretty sure it's true because usually IGN won't post things unless it is. They apparently are working on making a Avengers video game, which I was intrigued by because you've played the Spider-Man one. I played it for a bit and it was really fun. So I'm like, you know, that quality of game, but if we got the Avengers, I can only imagine what they could do with it. Because essentially in that game, you could take each individual character and give them kind of their own storyline. And then combine them together to be the Avengers, and then the Avengers all go. So I'm really intrigued.
Individual gameplay with all the different ones.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you want to like get really, really deep, individual gameplay with all the different Avengers, and then like the ones who are on their different worlds and stuff. Like you could have Thor on Asgard, like, or like battling, you know, frost giants and stuff, and then you could have, you know, Captain America in New York, or like you could have some gameplay where it's his origin story in the war.
There's a lot they can do with it. Yeah, so it says Marvel's Avengers game release date may not be till 2020.
Hey man,
shoot me now.
We're already halfway through 2019.
I understand that. After watching Endgame, I'm like, how am I supposed to get my Avengers fix now? You know?
Yeah.
Just like, what am I gonna do with myself? So,
well, I mean,
we'll see what happens. There's a lot they could do with it. I'm really curious, you know, if it'll be first person, third person, because Spider-Man was third person.
Yeah.
You know, you followed him around, but
yeah,
we'll see. I don't want to go into depth about it. It was just something that I remembered when you were like, you ready to nerd out? I was like, oh, okay. Maybe you know.
No, I'm... You know, I'm like so like detached from the video game circuit. I don't know what's going on with any of that. I finished Rick and Morty today.
Good job.
Yeah.
Way to go.
I did it.
I give you a high five, but I'm pouring my tea.
Dude, this motherfucker had a full gallon of tea just like chilling under his side of the table. I didn't even know.
Because I have a smaller cup today, and I knew I wasn't gonna drink just one cup and be okay. Like I'll probably finish this gallon tonight.
Jesus.
I like tea.
Leaf water.
It's still good.
Call it leaf water. Yeah, very, very detached from the video game thing.
Yeah.
Damn,
but what'd you think, Rick and Morty? Because the new season's out in November.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Like, funny enough, the very last episode, I think, may have been my favorite one.
I mean, it does get better over time.
Yeah.
It is one of those shows. It's kind of, you know, and there's other shows like it that people say, oh, you got to get through the first season.
Yeah.
Once you get through, you know, the first season, it gets so much better.
Better and better and better.
And I feel like shows like that, it's because the first season, they're kind of building their characters.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving you backstories. They're, you know, giving you kind of like side stories and all that stuff so that you understand these people and know why it is in future episodes that they do what they do.
Yeah.
You know?
And, well, the very last episode was a good, like, representation of that character development because it shows, like, Morty taking charge, actually, after, like, everything that Rick's put him through.
Yeah.
It shows, what's her name? The mom. Why?
So many blinks right now.
I know. Well, the mom, she's like, she finally...
Because everybody knows Rick and Morty because it's the name of the show.
She finally realizes that she's in love with Jerry.
Summer, Jerry.
Yeah. Jerry comes back.
Like Lisa?
Linda. I don't know. Whatever. What the fuck ever.
You keep talking. I'm going to find out.
And then Rick, like, because she thinks that she got, like, cloned to, like, be, like, you know, just a clone of herself and so that the actual one could, you know, go explore the world and whatnot. Beth. There. See, some basic ass white girl name, whatever.
But yeah. Well, and I mean, that's the thing is, you talk about like Morty kind of like taking charge and stuff. What's cool about that show is if you think about it, he kind of tries to do that throughout different episodes, but every time it's like either he's like, no, like I did it, now I'm over it, or like Rick just comes in and is like, you're doing it wrong, let me take over. So for them to show that development throughout the whole thing too, I think is really cool. Yeah. Especially based off of a show which is like The Simpsons and stuff, where they have their storylines that go throughout the whole thing, but for the most part, each episode is something different. Yeah. You know? Yeah. They'll hint at the storyline, but it's not something that continues throughout the whole thing.
And I don't think a lot of people watch Rick and Morty and think about character development.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because nobody watches Family Guy and thinks about character development.
They watch Rick and Morty and they think of Mr. Poopy Butthole and Mr. Me Sings and just all the weird ass characters that come through that show.
Right. But no, like the that episode as far as character development was great, but also just the straight like action fighting scenes between Rick and the president. Great. So cool to just try to see them both like flexing on each other and just like pulling out all the stops on everything they've ever done. It was dope.
I think my timelines, is this where, because there was one where Morty was the president, but it was like a clone.
Yeah, no.
I'm trying to think of like the last episode and I just can't for some reason.
Yeah, no, the last episode, President of the United States calls them in and they're like, hey, you gotta, you know, do this thing in the JFK sex tunnels. And they're like, what? JFK sex tunnels? And they're both like in tunnels doing whatever, and they're like, they both look at each other like, this fucking sucks. Yeah. And they're like, we don't want to do this. Let's go do our own thing. So they like portal gun out of there. They start playing Minecraft somewhere.
I vaguely remember.
And then
apparently I'm gonna have to go through a rewatch. I remember in all the earlier stuff. I can't.
I'm probably gonna watch the whole series again before November. Just, I mean, it doesn't take much time. Yeah. You know, and it's, you know, unfortunately one of those things where you kind of like, you watch it and you like look around, you know, maybe check your phone, and like there's definitely stuff that I missed.
Well, but that's also something that's good about it, is because it doesn't have like a continuous storyline and it's not in depth. You can just kind of keep it on, and kind of browse up from your phone every now and then, and you still get the main gist of it.
Right. You know, I'm super hype about now that I have a Hulu account to use.
There's a lot of things on Hulu.
But one of my favorite adult animated shows ever is on Hulu.
Can't think.
And I'm gonna rewatch the entire fucking thing. So hype right now.
Can't think.
9 seasons of it. Archer.
All right.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I forgot that you're an Archer fan. I forgot about that because I think when we lived together, you were just like, Archer, let's watch Archer.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
It's so fucking funny. So yeah, I started rewatching it today actually after I finished Rick and Morty. And I was like, yes! So excited. Because it got to a point where like they have there's character development in that too. Yeah. And but it's like character development on coke. And they just like do, pretty much. They just like turn these characters into this weird ass motherfucking people. But then the seasons end up being themed after a while. They do like theme seasons where one is like Archer Vice, so it's all like Miami Vice type Archer stuff. And I think there's one that's they announced like the theme for the upcoming season. I forget what it was though.
I mean, that's cool. I like the theme idea. That's something you don't see in a lot of shows. Yeah. And because it's animated, you can do a lot with it. Mm-hmm. I think I vaguely remember the one where it's like Vice. Isn't that where he goes and like he's sent to kill some dude? And he ends up being like gay or something. Uh-huh. Yep. And then like they end up becoming best friends. And, like, yep.
Exactly.
I remember that. For some reason, that episode or that like series of episodes to me just like stood out for some reason, because I was like, that's an interesting twist kind of thing, you know. Yeah. And
I just love Archer because it's just like so quick-witted.
Yeah.
It's like there's a whole bunch of outside references and like references to other episodes that were like, you know, seasons before.
Yeah.
And it's just like real fast-paced. It's so good to me.
I feel like we enjoy things like that because it's kind of like a memory game.
Yeah.
Because in your head, you're like, hey, I remember that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Whereas if you didn't remember, you'd be like, what is he talking about?
Like, wait, Google this real quick.
And I think that's that's one of the reasons I love Kevin Smith movies.
Oh,
yeah. Because all his different Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jane Silent Bob, Clerks, they all combined into each other.
Yeah. Just
from not even necessarily like, oh, this character meets this character from this movie, but they talk about the other characters.
Right.
And they like intertwine and, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then because I watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back the other day, actually while we were on vacation, and when they're coming out of the theater, she like talks about, you know, oh, why don't they make a movie based on the comic that you're in? And she's like, what, Chasing Amy? I'm like, that's funny because they did make a movie based on it before the comic was even like a thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's the whole memory game thing.
Yeah, that's cool. Another thing I love about Archer is the different voice actors that are in it.
A lot of famous people.
Yeah, like the girl who does Lana. Oh man, why can't I think of her name? I'm blanking on so much shit today.
So many names, and it's just names. It's not even like things. It's just names.
Yeah, but the girl who does Lana, she's super super famous. She was the host of Whose Line Is It Anyway for a little while. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the guy who does Archer is obviously also the guy who does Bob's Burgers. Who does Bob, and
which is another great animated show.
Right. But the thing is, like, the character of Archer and the character of Bob are so different.
Yeah.
But those voices match. That voice matches both of those characters so well.
Yeah.
And it's so great. I love it. And then the guy who plays Cyril in Archer, he's kind of like the dweeb, the outcast, you know, the nerd of the group that nobody really fucking likes.
Yeah.
He's also the guy who plays Jerry in Rick and Morty. So Cyril and Jerry are like the same person.
Yeah.
They're both like, no, Cyril, Jerry, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
And that voice just matches that character so well. I love it.
Have you ever seen what was it, like my Wet Hot Summer Vacation or something? It was on Netflix.
Yeah.
The guy that does Archer and Bob does the voice for the can.
Oh.
Did you see that?
No.
Okay, so in this TV show, basically this guy is a camp counselor. It's based off of an old like 80s movie.
Right, My Wet Hot American Summer.
Yes, that one. And he falls into this pit of acid or whatever, and it transforms him into a can. And so this dude does the voice for this can throughout this entire like series. And every time I heard it, I was just like, that's Bob's Burgers. I was like, that's Bob.
Is Bob's Burgers still making new episodes?
I don't know. Unless there's so many like things out that I want to watch that
I can't
like
keep track anymore.
Unless I see like consistent advertisement for it, which, you know.
Yeah.
We all hate advertisement, but it's what keeps us interested in the shit that we watch.
Right.
You know? So I'm not even sure if they're making new stuff. And then like Rick and Morty, honestly, Rick and Morty I had forgotten about until they announced the new season because it's been so long since the last season.
And I like how they joke about that at the end of every season.
Yeah, and
with Mr.
They're like, oh, we'll see you next season, you know, things like that.
Who knows how long it's gonna be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, because they took such giant gaps between their seasons, I completely forgot about it. Like, yeah, obviously I see it on Hulu and I watch it and things like that, but I don't sit there and watch it going, oh, when's the next season?
Yeah.
You know, it got to the point where I was just like, if I see it, I see it. And then they announced it, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, there's a new one. I forgot about that.
About time. Yeah. I didn't realize how much good stuff is on Hulu. I hadn't, like, explored it before.
Yeah. There's a couple Marvel shows that are pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got the, what is it, Cloak and
Dagger.
Dagger.
Yeah.
And the, not Outcast, what is it?
Oh,
Marvel. It's about like the rich kids.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And they discover that they have different abilities and stuff.
Right. Sounds suspiciously like the X-Men. Yeah, I'm gonna start exploring Hulu a little bit more now that I have an account to use. Thank you, Hannah. Appreciate it.
You mooch.
Yeah, right.
That's alright, I'm not using my own Hulu either.
Yeah.
I'm on my own Netflix.
Oh, I'm using my own Netflix. My own Netflix is...
I'm not using my own Netflix. Thanks, Mom.
It is what it is.
So, I don't even know if I want to talk about this. It was just something that I saw, and it just kind of hit me, and I was like, oh, fuck, we're here again. Driving down the road.
Okay.
Behind a truck.
Okay.
Fucking redneck truck.
Uh-huh.
And I see a sticker.
Oh, no.
And it says, Trump 2020. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. This is our life again.
Are we... Oh, man, we are almost back to election time.
We are almost there.
Ah, fuck.
And I mentioned that to somebody, and they're like, oh, I've been seeing that all over the place. I'm like, well, this is the first time I've seen it, and it pissed me off. I was just like, I don't want to be, like, here during election time.
Dude, 2016 election time was so god-awful. Like,
so bad.
I just, like, regardless of, like, who you wanted, like, who you were voting for or whatnot, you know, whatever you believe, fine. So many people were just fucking at each other's throats and just shitting on each other and bad-mouthing each other and, like, fuck this person, fuck that person sucks, this person sucks. I'm like...
Digging up dirt, just
God
everything.
Damn. Yeah, and I can only imagine that, you know, with... all opinions aside, I think that Trump being in office has created a bigger divide amongst people, you know? And I can only imagine that the 2020 campaign is going to be worse, you know?
Well, I briefly mentioned it to my grandma, and she was telling me that she read that because Trump is a Republican, right?
Yes.
So the Democrats had 20 people declare that they were running for president.
Yeah.
20 candidates, and I'm just like,
yeah.
You couldn't find just one good person. You had to throw a bunch into a hat and just kind of go, okay, you can go, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, 20 people declared, something like that. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like, there's going to be preliminary voting to, like, figure out who we want to actually go to the, you know, the main voting process. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, man. And if you plan on, like, voting Democrat this year, like, that's a lot of research to do.
Yeah.
You got to go through all these different candidates and really find out who, like, is best for, like, whatever you believe in.
And that's part of the thing is I'm just like, the fact that we have to do so much research and sit here spending our time watching these debates just to figure out who's best to run this country. It's just a lot. That's a lot of work.
It's time consuming, man.
Full-time job just to pick a person.
Yeah.
You know?
And dude, I've got a job, I've got a kid, I've got errands to run, I've got shit to do. Like, I can't possibly keep up with all of it. It's hard, man.
Well, and my big thing is, you know, I feel like as a country, and this seems to happen all the time, we go, we vote, we get somebody elected, we put them in office. Clearly they have the majority of the votes, but then it's like within like 2 months, everybody hates them. They find some reason as to why they shouldn't be president. And it's like, well, then how in the fuck did they get elected?
Yeah.
You know?
I
it's
think...
like the country just completely 180s and it's just like, you know what? Never mind. We regret this choice, and now all we're going to do is complain.
Yeah. The Electoral College is a big problem, too. Because, like, there can be a person who wins the popular vote in the U.S., but still loses the election.
Yeah.
Because the way the Electoral College works is, like, if you get the popular vote for a certain state, like California is worth, like 120 votes or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? So if you win California, you get 120 votes on your side. But if you win, like, Delaware, you get 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, cool. You guys both, like, you each won a state.
1-1,
but it's not, like, not at all.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a garbage-ass way of doing it. Because literally, like, the entire state of, like, Delaware, Rhode Island, you know, Maine, whatever, all those states could, like, completely, like, vote one person, like, everybody in that.
Yeah. But if if the opposing gets, you know,
like, gets California or Texas,
yeah,
doesn't matter. It's insane.
Our community, man, it's kind of fucked up. And then we wonder why people want to move to Canada, and across the lake to Europe and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's my big thing is I'm like, dude, I'll move to Canada. I'm all about it. I'll start saying A after everything.
A?
How you doing there, A? I got it.
Yeah, there you go. You sound Canadian. I don't like snow. I don't like the cold, so I don't think that would agree with me.
I'm not a big fan of snow or the cold, but it's something I can get used to. You know, like I grew up here, born and raised. I'm used to our 100 and god awful hellish levels of temperature.
Speaking of which, it was about 100 today.
Yeah.
Got there.
Fuck. Times like this, I wish I had a pool. But I still think I'd be alright in the snow. I'll learn. I'll adjust. You know, my mom moved from here to Alaska.
Crazy.
She's perfectly fine.
Not frozen yet.
Yeah. She sends me a text every day. Still thawing out, you know.
Damn.
You got anything else?
I don't.
Alright, well I got one more.
Uno mas. Uno mas never wrapping this bitch up.
And it's a disorder.
A disorder?
Yep. So apparently, whoever decides on what should be a disorder, whatever organization says, oh, this is disorder, this is an illness, you know, this is a mental thing.
Oh, right.
They've declared that there is now a video game disorder.
Oh.
That you can be too addicted to video games, and it is considered a disorder. It is unhealthy for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, because research says that playing video games helps with anxiety, helps with, you know, just your eye-hand coordination, all these different things that video games. I play video games regularly.
Right.
I mean, granted, I don't feel the need to be like, oh, I'm calling in sick because I gotta play a game.
Right.
But I don't feel like it's a disorder. I don't feel like it's something that you should mark somebody as, oh, they have an illness because they enjoy playing games.
Right.
Some people do it like I do it because I enjoy kind of just having my space. I enjoy just kind of doing my own thing. I can just chill out, you know, zone out, play a game, just kind of forget what's going on around me. I don't think you should say, oh, they have an illness because there's people in this world that enjoy that more, you know?
They have an illness, a disorder. So,
but at the same time, my thought
what's the treatment for that?
Well, that's the thing. Who knows what they're gonna say? But my first thought was, where do I sign up? Like, do I go on a disability?
That's what I was just about to say. Like, do you get disability now if you're too addicted to video games?
Can I claim a check while I just sit around and play video games all day? Because that's what I'm striving for anyway.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Exactly.
That's why I started the streaming thing, was because.
Right.
I want to do this for a living.
Right. So I guess all I gotta do is
just use the government's disorder against it.
Say yeah. Hi, my name is Cody. I've got a problem.
I have a video game disorder.
Yeah. My thumbs never stop moving.
Yeah, right. I'll just be standing up there with my phone, like, yeah, guys, I have a disorder. I like to play video games.
Perfect.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go home. Bye.
Bye. I gotta go beat this level.
But that's the thing is, I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, calling it a disorder is just ridiculous. Now, on that level, yes, going back, if I am the kind of person that is like, oh, I'm gonna call out because I need to sit here and play this game, then it becomes a problem.
Right.
That's an addiction. You know, it needs to be treated.
Yeah.
But just because somebody enjoys it doesn't mean it's a problem.
Right. Huh.
I know people that have like, oh, there's a new release. I'm taking off the day from work so that I can play this brand new release the day it comes out, level up, enjoy it. But then they go back to their life.
Right.
Know?
Yeah, for sure.
So it just seems kind of silly to me, you know. And also because I can understand how people that have social anxiety, people that, you know, just kind of they get anxiety from being around crowds and stuff like that. They would rather just sit in a room and play a game.
Right, which is why there's so many like kids with autism that are so heavy into video games because they can't do the social situations like that.
And it's just a lot. It's typically a lot easier for them too. You know, even just to sit there and play games with people and talk to them over a headset, far easier than sitting in front of them and trying to strike up a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I won't say that I'm at that level where I'm like, I can't talk to people, but I do get anxiety if, like, I try and talk to somebody and they just don't seem that interested in the conversation. I'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go bye. Like, you know. But there's a whole nother level of that. There's kids that just, it physically pains them to be around other people, to, like, try and have a conversation with somebody, unless it's somebody they're comfortable with, like a parent, a guardian, you know, a friend that they've known their entire life.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was kind of silly. I don't think playing video games is an illness, nor should it be considered a disorder, unless you are going to pay me disability, in which case
probably not.
Make it a disorder.
Right. They're probably not, but we can cross our fingers for it.
Hopes.
Yeah. That's weird.
Oh. You're a sports fan? Watching the finals?
Oh.
I watched game 2.
Oh, yeah.
I was over at my dad's.
Yeah, I saw that you were watching one of the basketball games.
I watched it because there was a streamer.
Yeah.
A really popular streamer that went to the game, and I was like, I want to see if I can find him. Sure enough.
You found him?
He was there in full get-up.
Nice.
It's called Dr. Disrespect.
Huh.
It's this guy in very 80s vibe.
Okay.
You know, got the mustache, but nothing else, so it's just the mustache. He wears a wig, but it's a mullet, because he naturally doesn't have a mullet, but he wears a mullet wig. You know, he's got the fucking reflector sunglasses and, you know, his vest on and stuff. He went in the full fucking get-up.
That's awesome.
I was like, props to you for wearing a vest, your mullet wig, like, just the whole thing to this game. And it was so funny because being in that scene, you know, as far as the gaming and things like that, that's all I saw on Twitter was, oh, look, found it. It was like a game of Where's Waldo. You know, I was like, there was posts of, oh, found him. People would pause their TV. Look, there he is. Like, every time they saw him, it was just
dope.
hilarious. So.
That's dope that he got that popular. For sure.
But yeah, I did watch the second game.
Yeah.
You think...
make you miss basketball a little bit?
It makes me miss basketball, yeah. Basketball and soccer.
Yeah.
Makes me want to be more active, which I'm working on. But
yeah, I actually went and played basketball today. Do I think what? You gonna ask me if I think the Raptors have a chance?
I'm gonna ask you if you think Thompson's gonna be back.
Oh, Klay Thompson? Yeah.
I mean, they said it was just like a tense muscle. Yeah. Like it had tightened up. But.
Yeah. Thompson will come back and play for sure.
But I mean,
I don't think KD. I don't think KD's gonna come back and play any of the series, man.
No, it sounds like he was out for just the entire thing.
Yeah, because they I keep getting updates like, oh yeah, KD's out for Game 3, you know, yet again, and everything that I saw about like his calf injury from the previous series, oh yeah, it's not that serious, it's whatever, it's just a strain, and he'll be back, and then Game 1, no go, Game 2, no go, Game 3, no go. It's like, dude, are you just gonna let these guys go out and win a ring for you? Is that what's going on? And then you're just gonna dip? Like,
I mean, maybe, but at the same time, you have to wonder, like, without him in the game, these games have been pretty close.
Yeah.
But if he was in that game, I have a feeling they wouldn't be that close.
Yeah.
To me, Game 2, watching it, and it's funny because this is why I brought it up, because I was like, you're going to be proud of me because I watched a sports game, a sports thing. But watching that Game 2, literally, I believe the only reason that Golden State won was because that third quarter where they had that 18-0 streak, and they just took off. Without that, they would have lost.
Yeah,
the game would have been over. Raptors would have pulled ahead.
Yeah,
like
they had they went on it was a 20 20-0 run against the Raptors.
Yeah,
crazy.
But that's all I got. That's all my time.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Like the NBA series, I want the Raptors to win. Honestly, I want to see Kawhi get a ring. That'd be cool. I'm tired of seeing Golden State win it at this point.
I feel like a lot of people feel that way about the
Patriots. Yeah, I know.
As a Patriots fan, you're kind of.
I understand.
Kind of being a hypocrite here. I don't like seeing them winning over and over and over, but I'm a Patriots fan.
I didn't see. That's the thing. Like, every time somebody says, I just want to see somebody else win. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. As like a Boston sports fan, though, like,
You love to see it.
I just love to see it. Everybody would love to see it for their own team. You know? Everybody would.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why people get upset, is because it's not their team. If it was their team, they'd be like, shut up. Like, exactly. Can't help it that my team's good, kind of thing. So.
Yeah. And then Game 5 for the NHL, the Stanley Cup Finals, is on Thursday, I think. Series is tied 2-2.
So this is the deciding game then?
No, it's a 7-game series.
Oh, they do 7?
Yeah.
See, that shows how much I follow sports.
Yeah, it's okay. Game 3 was fucking bonkers, man.
I saw some highlights in in the TVs and work.
Yo.
They were talking a lot about the just like hard hits and stuff.
Yeah. The Bruins won at 7-2. And they were up 5-2 going into the third period, and then they pulled the goalie. The Islanders pulled the goalie to hopefully put more pressure onto the Bruins defense, maybe score some goals. We landed an open net goal, so it was 6-2, and then that was only with like 2 minutes left in the game, and then they scored again within the last couple minutes just to push it to 7-2. Just I guess for punishment.
For shits and giggles.
Yeah. Like, oh, guess what?
Oh, you haven't had enough. Let's do this.
Yeah. But then I'm saying Islanders. It's the Blues. What the fuck am I on? We're playing the Blues.
It's not your team, so you don't care.
But Blues won last night, actually, 4-2. So the series is tied now. Yeah.
So there will be at least 2 more games.
At least.
Yeah. Interesting.
I said at the beginning that it's going to be Bruins in 6. I thought the Blues were going to win 2 games. So if the Bruins can win the next 2, I think the next one's in Boston too.
Did you put a bet on it?
I did actually. I didn't
on the in 6.
I didn't put a bet on in 6. I bet that the Bruins would win the series. I put $50 on it. So
I was gonna say you put a bet on the in 6. I think that's higher payout.
Yeah, it would be.
So,
but I just bet one of my friends. So I bet Izzy. He was like, "Yeah, I'll take the Blues." I was like, "All right, $50, let's go."
Server money.
Yeah, right. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's been fun.
It's been fun. It's been real.
It's 2 weeks worth of podcast right there.
Yeah. We reeled it back in.
Wow, only an hour and a half. I felt like that went a lot longer.
Hey, hour and a half, that's not bad for actually not having any notes to talk about.
Right. Just kind of rambling.
Yeah. So, next week, we should be back. No problem. Thank you guys again for tuning in. This is going to be on YouTube under Zang Podcast. You can watch it on twitch.tv/Zang Podcast.
VODs.
Yeah.
YouTube. It'll be. I am also going to look into exporting the MP3s and getting on SoundCloud like we talked about.
You heard it from
because I know that was one thing was YouTube. You can't play with your phone locked.
Right.
So people wanted MP3s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to get signed up for that too.
Zang Podcast now has an Instagram.
Yep.
Kind of messing with that a little bit. So that's, again, just at Zang Podcast. You can comment on some stuff on there.
We like to keep it easy.
Say what the fuck is up.
Keep it easy for you guys.
Cody's stuff is all Faded Psychosis. So if you want to follow him on anything, it's Faded Psychosis. Twitter, Instagram.
Yours is just like all over the place.
Yeah.
I would list yours, but you got a different name for Instagram.
I know.
Twitter, like, luckily, and that's why mine's for the gaming, so I made it simple. I was like, I'm gonna just Faded Psychosis, Zang Podcast. That's all. Yeah,
no. My Instagram is Dakota is Spider-Man.
Yep.
My Twitter, I think, is Trashmouth. Like,
I thought it was Dakotasaurus.
Is it? I don't remember. I might have changed it.
Unless you changed it, and I just didn't realize.
How do I get to my own profile? Oh, my name is on there as Trashmouth, but my @ is Dakotasaurus. Yeah.
Yeah, your @ okay, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, so
because I was like, I know I've seen the Trashmouth, but I don't think you changed your @
Yeah. So Instagram, Dakota Spider-Man, Twitter, Dakotasaurus.
Pornhub
is non-existent yet.
Damn it. You really let me down. I thought it was going to be some sort of comment about like long dick 69 or
Long man dick 69 420 blaze it. And I think that's like really it as far as like social media needs to go. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Hug your friends, tell them you love them.
Hug more than your friends, your family. Hug anybody you care about.
Yeah, it's very important.
That's right, because we do the words of advice.
Yeah. So yeah, tell your friends, your family, anybody close to you. Hug them, tell them you love them. You never know when you're not going to get the chance ever again. So it's very important. We love you guys. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
That we will. Later.